Hi, and welcome to my video demonstration. Today I'll be demonstrating various features of the AI4Green4Students that will enable you create sustainable reaction. This is a one-stop platform for all you need as a student. So the AI4Green4Students has four main components. We have the learning section, we have the planning section, the lab notes section, and the report section. So for the learning section, click here, the green chemistry. That takes you to green and sustainable chemistry, just helping you to learn, bridge the gap in your knowledge. We have external websites here that you can go and look up, like the 12 principles of green chemistry. Takes you to the American Chemical Society, where you will learn more about that. We have application of sustainable chemistry. Can learn more about that. Then we have principles of sustainable chemistry. You can also practice on how to calculate grade metrics. And then you can take a sustainability quiz, that tests how much information you have gathered, regarding the sustainable chemistry. You can also look at the sustainability element table. This will help you in planning your reaction, to selecting the catalysts that you can use. It tells you, click on any here, see? So it tells you more. Green, it means that you have it in abundance. You can always select those. Once you've navigated around the learning section, then you can go back. Here, you can see the available projects that you have been enrolled in. You can only access these projects once your supervisor has added you to a project and a project group. So it brings you directly to your project group. This is the Suzuki reaction. That's the available project that the student has been enrolled in. So here you can find that's the plan for creating your experiment plan. Then you have the lab notes. That's for documentation when you're carrying out the experiment in the lab. And then you have your report section where you will report, write a detailed report of the experiments that you have carried out. So how this plan work, looking at it, you can see that you have plan, then you have notes side by side, because it might be that you will vary your reaction within the 4 weeks period you stay in the lab. Maybe week 1, you're looking at maybe one condition. Week 2, maybe you're looking at another condition. So for each of the reaction you're looking at, you're creating the plan that you will submit to your supervisor. At the same time, you're documenting the notes that go with that particular reaction. Then at the end of all 4 or 6 reactions, depending on the guidance that you receive from your instructor, then you can now write the report. So you have just one report, but you can have as many as lab notes as you have your plan. So in creating the plan now, usually as a group, you have the opportunity to brainstorm together, look at the experiment holistically as a group, draw inspiration from one another and learn from each other. So to do that, you click on this project group activities. Project group activity brings you to this collaboratory page where you will work together. So that's the literature summary. All of you can, do together. And then you have your project group plan. This is very, very good. It helps you in planning. So you know what each member of the group is doing each week. So it's week by week. The number of students that are enrolled in that project group would appear here. So each column is for a member of the project group. You can also look at the project group, the hazards together, contributing just to help you with your individual plan. Remember, this is the initial plan that you will do before you go off your separate ways planning your experiment. Then you have the notes. As a group, you can now write down whatever you want, maybe what you want to be looking at as you progress with your experiment. Once you finish that initial brainstorming as a group, you can now go and start writing your own individual plan. So if you click on this, you're going to be writing the literature review for this project. So it will be one literature review for this project, whether you're having 6 reactions or you're having 4 reactions. So once you finish writing your literature, reviewing literature, writing them here, you also have that functionality to add in your references here. You can as well attach the paper, wherever you glean the information, the sources of your information, you attach them here. Finish with your literature review, then you create your plan. So you can see we've advised on the formats just to maintain consistency in naming your plan. So we said your initials, then the name of experiment. In this case, we have Suzuki. And then maybe I want to look at low catalyst. And what's today's date that I'm doing it. Great. So that's the component of your plan. So you have the reaction scheme, the cost form, safety, and experiment procedure. The reaction scheme, the sketcher pad will help you draw out your reaction. So you have 2 options here. You can draw out the reaction as I'm doing now. So I can draw out the reaction like this. Once I finish, I'll click on generate reaction data, or you can copy smile string of this reaction, paste it here, and click on generate reaction data. The system will communicate with PubChem database to draw out the information of those reactions. So I click here. So that's the information. And then you come and write the hazards that are associated with them. You can write the hazard code if you know the hazard code. And one good thing is that if you make mistake with your hazard code or the hazard details, the system is going to warn you, okay? It will let you know that you have made an error. You can see that warning sign. So that tells you that is incorrect. And you have to think up the correct one and put it there before you submit to your supervisor. So once you have entered all the hazards, selected the physical forms, the amount that you're going to be using for the experiment, select which one is the limiting reagent. You can also add further reagent. I select this as my catalyst, I'll add it. It will be added to the reaction table. You can also choose the solvent. There is one key thing that the solvent selection helps you to achieve. You can see that it's color-coded. You have the green, the dark red, and the yellow. This is according to the Chem 21 sustainability classification. So where green is acceptable and dark red is toxic. Once all this information is added, check the reaction table that you have added all the relevant information. Then you save it. And then we move to the cost form. Cost form complete all the relevant section. Then here is where you now, for each of the wastes you're going to be generating. Is it going to be non-halogenated waste? Is it going to be halogenated? Is it going to be aqueous? So for each of the chemical, the substances you're using, you should be able to outline the disposal route for all of them. So you have this add new to add as many rows as possible. Once you've completed this, the emergency procedure, finish save, we go back, we then add in all the safety detail, maybe whatever you feel you've not been able to add to your course form, especially from literature, maybe toxicity, include them here, save it, go back to your plan, add all the experiment procedure. That will be like the summary of the experiment procedure, what you're going to be doing from the start till the finish. Save it as well. Once you're done, that's your plan. Saved. Okay, this plan now, once you have completed it, you will have to submit to your supervisor. You find the plan here, so that's the plan. You have 3 options. You can always view the plan and make changes if you have missed out any information. Then you have delete, maybe you don't want it. You delete it completely and create another one. Or you have finished, you have added all the information and you are coming to the 2 weeks deadline. You click here to submit. Once you click submit, it will ask you again whether you wish to proceed. Click OK. The instructor receives your plan. Then the instructor will have to come in here, go over your plan, check the hazards. Once they are satisfied with all the information you have included, the instructor approves your plan. Once your plan is approved, you will see it here. You can see this green tick that shows you that this plan has been approved. And that's the only time that your lab notes section becomes activated. Then you can now click here and you begin to document the experiment real time as you complete that in the lab. So your metadata, that's where you add all the information regarding your reaction. Save that. Go back to your reaction notes. So you can now go to the reaction scheme. The reaction scheme, what happens here is that the reaction scheme in your plan, okay, will be copied over for you here. So what you now need to do is to go to the reaction table and adjust quantities. Maybe save it, go back. You can now calculate the yield and green metrics. So we have templates that we have built in for you to help you do all those things. From here, and now write, enter the expected mass of the product, the actual mass, the number of moles, then you calculate the yield and put the results here. And for the green metrics, so you put the waste produced, the productivity outputs, and then you can use this to calculate the waste intensity for you. So once you're done with all the plans, the notes, then you can now come and create reports. So in your reports, you see you have abstracts, introduction, results, and discussion, conclusion, experimental. You can view, you can delete it, you can submit it to your supervisor, you can export it. If you click export, it's going to generate your report in Word documents, as you can see here. Click it, and then adjust, see whether there are certain information you need to include or there are things that you need to restructure before you can now, upload it to Moodle for your instructor to mark. So yeah, that's the student's journey of the AI for Green for Students. Thank you.